Welcome to the Freedom Chronicles.
Definitely an antisocial type.
Only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger.
Hi, perhaps you recognize me. It's your favorite president.
In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
We got a loudspeaker here, and when we go into battle, we play music very loud.
With a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are back here in the studio in, well, not so sunny Southwest Florida because we just got hit with a hurricane. But it is good to be back, and we are, of course, broadcasting from the Brian Chapman State Farm bunker right here in Southwest Florida. And like a good neighbor, Brian Chapman State Farm is there for all of the insurance needs that you have for your very own bunker, especially in these times of hurricane strife. So give us office a call at 941-625-9998 or visit the office at 2040 Tamiami Trail in Port Charlotte. With us, as always, driving through those puddles is Mr. Ken Lovejoy. Ken, how are you, sir?
I'm fine. It was really all just Punta Gorda. All the coastal areas, Punta Gorda, Venice, the 41 bridge is shut down still, going north and south due to storm surge flooding. Some lunar thing is making the high tide.
Supermoon, Ken.
Supermoon.
It's the supermoon.
Supermoon's making the tide a little bit higher.
Higher and higher.
So there is some flooding along here, but
yes,
that's it, really.
Luckily,
it was not our turn this time.
And thank you, Mother Nature, for that.
What is it, 129 years?
125.
125. So
Yes.
it was their turn.
It was their turn. Big Bend there in Florida.
We've
going
had
up into the Panhandle.
How many in the last 20?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it was
Too
their turn.
many.
Yeah.
And thoughts and prayers to everyone affected. Of course, it is not fun dealing with a hurricane. Those who are without power certainly need thoughts and prayers and some electric to come their way. I know, and we applaud Governor DeSantis for having the FPL linemen ready to go.
Everybody's staged.
Everybody's staged and ready to go, and hopefully it won't take long for power to get turned back on where it was knocked out. Bury those power lines, Florida. Bury those power lines.
FPL has been, like, they asked me, I got a letter in the mail shortly after I bought the house asking if I would authorize them to bury the power line. I'm like, yeah. Do it. I thought they were going to do it because they were building that house behind me, so I figured maybe they'd bury both.
Well, years ago when I was on your radio show, we had Deutsch in, the commissioner, and it was when they were doing all the construction for the roundabouts locally, and they were still doing the construction on Midway, and I said, how come you're not burying the power lines? And
it's not their
I know
call.
it's not their call, but they should put in the call to have the right people make the call to do it.
Well, a lot of the new communities are getting their power lines buried.
Good.
It is starting, but to retro, everybody else is gonna take some time. But I gave them my permission a couple of years ago. I'm just waiting for them to freaking
do it. Exactly. Yeah. Yes. Well, folks, we have power right here where we are, and while it is storming outside the bunker, we are safe, warm, and dry in here to talk about some things. And first of which, if you like the shirt I am wearing, if not us, who? If not now, when? You can pick one of those up in the Freedom Chronicles shop. There it is. Grab a t-shirt, a hat, a mug, a long sleeve shirt, because the winter months are approaching. Now this one, Ben, leave this picture up for a second. The I will splinter the CIA into 1,000 pieces and scatter it into the winds. This was quite the conversation starter at the swap meet I was at in Arizona. I walked into a booth and a guy would just look at me and go, yep, that's why they killed him.
That's it right there.
That right there is why they
what.
killed him.
Yep.
And so that's a guaranteed conversation starter. This one, evil is powerless if the good are unafraid. I gave a shirt to my cousin Alan out there in Arizona before we left with this, gave him a Freedom Cow one, the Reagan one here. He wore this Reagan shirt the other day when he was on one of his hikes. Every single person that passed him on his hike stopped him, thanked him for his service in the Air Force, and said, I love your shirt. So thank you. And We love it.
Nice.
So you too can be the conversation starter. Use the link down in the description. We also have the QR code that we can put up on the screen. The Freedom Chronicles shop. Be a conversation starter and get loud locally with Freedom Cow. We love it. We love it. We love it. Yes. Hi, Freedom Cow. He's so cute. Anyway, so it was quite a fun vacation. I have picture number 1 here. My last day.
Now we got to go through the
just
travel.
a couple. Okay. Last day in Arizona. It was actually, I was leaving that day, and the next day the hurricane hit.
Shouldn't you pixelate their faces?
That's okay.
Just for security purposes.
It's okay. No? Believe me, with Alan's fake cannon up there, nobody's going up to mess with him.
Okay.
And then the last week we broadcasted from the Georgia Lake House. We have picture 4 and 5 here of a beautiful day up there in an undisclosed location in a cabin in the woods on a lake in Georgia. Absolutely beautiful weather, and it was fun to have a nice relaxing week out on the lake. And shout out to Just Amy, our good friend Just Amy. She's up in Wisconsin, picture number 7. She found a gigantic Freedom Cow.
Ooh.
So Amy's having a good time up there in Wisconsin, bringing back some cheese.
On the udders?
Yeah, right. So good times. But awesome. It is good to be home. Of course, one of the best things I saw while in Georgia, picture number 16, Ben, please. They have those little boxes for the newspaper. And this guy had the best one. The media lies. And it is true. And in my travels from Southwest Florida to Dallas, Texas for the Chad Prather Show, to one day of relaxation in Santa Fe, New Mexico, to a majority of time in Arizona, to 3 days in Las Vegas, back to Arizona, and then driving across the country in 26 hours to Georgia and then home. Believe me, I think I counted up 75 hours worth of driving. Yeah.
Did you get any better at it?
Yeah. I popped 2 tire treads in the in west of Nashville. Yeah, that was fun. Oh yeah.
At the same time?
Yeah.
But 2 tires.
Yeah.
Why? Just too hot and
I
old
have
tires?
no idea.
That was a rental you were in.
It was a rental, so they were already crappy tires as they were. So
wow.
What are you gonna do?
How many miles were on it?
Well, the van, it started with 51,000.
Oh, so it already had 51?
Yeah.
Yeah, it needed new tires.
Yeah. Well, now it does.
You got them. How long do you have to wait?
Well, I do not recommend the rental company's roadside assistance, but we made it to a spot.
He will be flying in tomorrow.
Yeah. We get your tow truck and Uber. We get your tow truck and Uber. I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think so, buddy. So we made it to a Firestone place, and we applaud them. Man, it was like a NASCAR pit crew. 30 minutes, and we were out of there.
Awesome.
They were fantastic, and made it to Georgia. I went to Oklahoma. Oklahoma, where the winds go sweeping down the plain. But it was all night. I drove through the entirety of Oklahoma at night. I could not tell you what it looks like, what it's like at all, except Oklahoma City, something very interesting. When we were in New Mexico, almost into Arizona, there were signs for, stop fentanyl, it kills, one billboard going each way. In Oklahoma, every other billboard was
strip club.
No, that's in Georgia.
Okay, that's right. That's true.
That's true.
But I thought maybe they'd,
Yeah, but every other billboard was, if you're gonna use drugs safely. Test for fentanyl, and make sure you have Narcan on hand. It's like, have they just given up? Of all places, Oklahoma City. Come on.
They've just, that's the tack they're taking.
Yeah.
Because they know they can't stop it.
It's very sad.
Because, the federal government refuses to stop it. In fact, is only doing their level best to ramp up the fentanyl distribution, courtesy of a wide open border.
Mm-hmm.
And so
it's sad to see.
Yeah, it is.
And especially in Oklahoma City, of all places. Again, you could see it in New Mexico or Arizona.
Manufacturer is probably paying for the billboard.
Oh, yeah, probably. And as you see, I'm drinking through my Trump International Hotel Las Vegas mug right here. Look at that.
Mug.
The golden mug.
That's
it was the
nice.
cheapest thing in the place.
Really? How much was that?
$20.
That's not bad.
Not bad. The hats were $47, but they're made in America. So is this, I believe. So good stuff.
those Ted Nugent hats, those were
Yeah.
40.
Yep.
But Ted signed them,
I
or
know,
at least
very nice.
somebody who knows Ted's signature.
Yeah, I know.
I was giving that guy crap.
I know. Does these
there
come with a
certificate
certificate of
of
authenticity? No. You want it or not? I know. But it was a great time. Las Vegas was so much fun. Went to the Beatles show, Cirque du Soleil at the Mirage, and that was cool. Of course, the one time I go is when they have the technical difficulties and it stops for 20 minutes. Got to see Brett Ernst. Great to catch up with him, and he said he should be here in the new year, so we're going to try to get him on the show while he's in town as well.
Good.
And overall, amazing time. And same thing I said after I did my initial 24-hour drive to Dallas and was on the Chad Prather show. And folks, go check that out. I was on 2 episodes. It was a lot of fun. Such a great experience. Thanks to Chad for again having me on. And
But he does too many shows, so
I know.
I was like, nobody's going to go back that far now.
That's okay.
It's like 20, 30 shows back.
Not really.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you hear that? That's we hear the rain. It's raining again, folks. But like 23,000 views on each episode. So
cool,
thank
good.
you to, and if you're watching this show because you saw me on that show, thank you. And make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button on Rumble and YouTube. We'll get into all that later. But one of the things I said on Chad's show was when you're driving across the country, meeting normal people in normal life, you realize life is normal. And all this insanity coming from the left is this little tiny minority of people shouting the loudest, and they are the most powerful people in the country, trying to squash everybody's life.
Yeah, they're the ones shouting at you from the TV.
Exactly.
And from the computer screen.
Yeah.
And so
and it takes shutting off that TV and getting out into the real world and having normal conversations.
If I can do it. I mean, I did morning radio. I still do, but later in the morning. But I used to do early morning radio, 6 to 10 for years. And so you're glued to the TV.
Yeah.
You're binge watching stuff. You're keeping up. You're watching the Inside Edition, all that crap, just to keep up with all the garbage, and you get sucked into it. And a lot of people do. And if that's all you're doing, you're probably at this point pretty miserable. But
and it's very easy to get sucked into that.
It is,
but it's also, especially if you're
feels
watching,
good to get away from it, doesn't it? Though.
Oh, it does. Like I would for the first day. Because I literally drove from Arizona to Georgia. Yeah. Like the end of the vacation was actually the most relaxing because the time in Georgia there, because I literally just slept in, did nothing after the 26-hour drive from Arizona, where I slept for 3 hours, in intermittently driving in Arkansas. And just being able to sit there and look out and do nothing. It reminded me of the Office Space movie quote. I did absolutely nothing today, and it was everything I thought it could be. And of course, while we are there in Georgia, we have the biggest news of the presidential history. Donald J. Trump, picture number 20, please. Ben got his mugshot. The mugshot heard round the world, and look at that. Look at those eyes. Understand this man is coming for you, Democrats.
Got a big old FU.
Big old FU. Just look at that.
FU right there.
Look at that. Zoom in nice and tight.
There. See, that's a mean man.
That's
right
a mean.
That's a mean man with a purpose.
Yeah,
mean man with a purpose.
Yes.
And now he has got the ultimate street cred.
Yes, he does.
In that mugshot.
He's got the street cred. Lil Pump tweeted out.
Have you
he's
seen
one
all
of
the
us.
different videos?
You see the hashtag one of us.
Have you
one of
seen
us.
all the different videos?
I love this one. Everybody's going to want the mugshot shirt. Come on. We're working on our own right here at the Freedom Chronicles. So you better wait and pick up the Freedom Chronicles one. This one's the best. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. That's right. And of course, Babylon B had the best one, picture number 24. Trump pays the extra $12 to get the cool laser background mugshot. But of course, the Atlantic comes out. He wants you to look at him. Trump's mugshot was supposed to be an excuse or an exercise in humility, but it didn't work out that way, did it? He turned it into a threat. Yes.
Who turned what into a threat here?
I know. Well, and Ben Garrison had the best cartoon here. Next one, number 26. Oh, he's smiling. He's not taking the charges seriously. He looks bored. This is an insult to our democracy. He looks smug. He thinks we're getting away with his crimes. But no, he chose he's a thug. And they think, he's threatening us with that look. Oh my gosh, it's so scary. What are we gonna do? Give me a break.
These guys are weak.
It's weak. Weak. And they've learned nothing.
No.
They've learned nothing. What are they going to do? They're going to set the federal trial for the day before Super Tuesday. What do you think is going to happen leading into Super Tuesday? It's going to be the ammunition that people need to go to the polls on Super Tuesday and make Trump win in a landslide in every single one, because it's going to be fresh in their mind, and they are sick and tired of the Democrats doing this.
Well, they better vote en masse, because there's going to be a lot of fraud on Super Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we got a lot of people that'll be there to point out where the fraud's at.
Yep.
But nobody has yet to do anything about the fraud in 2020 and 2022.
Right.
So what makes anybody really seriously think that there isn't going to be any fraud? And what makes people think that if they can get rid of Trump and Tiny D or Youngkin,
give me a break. Youngkin.
I can't believe, why would Youngkin, anyway, I get to that. But if one of them is the candidate, then there's just magically not going to be any voter fraud.
Well, and I saw this picture number 19, Ben, the roller coaster on Time magazine here. Does the ride ever end? No. And I love how it's Tiny D just sitting in the back and right there.
Not when they keep
no.
They're the ones that keep pulling the lever for another round.
Yep.
Yeah. It's
no.
And Youngkin again. Tiny D looks like he's fading, and the rumor's been Youngkin or somebody else. And it looks like it's Youngkin because all of a sudden he's showing up in these polls.
Is he? Well, he's been showing up like in some of the betting polls.
Why would he martyr himself like that? I mean, because it's not even. Why would he commit political suicide?
Right.
Because at this point, that's what it would be. How stupid or I don't know, arrogant would you have to be to not see that? Hey, dude, our first place guy's kind of sucking. You were a distant second, maybe third. But you want to come in now to take his place? Because we're going to dump him and we want to throw you at the wall and see if you stick.
Right.
I don't get that.
Nope.
And I don't get why Youngkin would he's got things going well for him. And
just do your job as governor, dude.
28 is around the corner. These guys think they would rather destroy the entire party and destroy the country, help to destroy the country, than to unify behind the man that everybody wants. And to me, that tells me the Republican Party is dead. They need to go the way of the Whigs.
Yeah.
If it isn't Trump, I'm not voting Republican. I'm not holding my nose.
Well, and you cannot tell me. And now you're hearing the push, even in Florida, to try to get Trump off of the ballot, and of course in New Hampshire.
Well, but these are private lawyers doing that,
right? But in New Hampshire, there were rumblings about it, and then they go, "Oh well, no, that was fake news. We weren't really trying to talk about
because
that.
14th, they're trying to do it under the 14th Amendment.
But you cannot tell me that there wouldn't be just everybody would go out and just write his name in anyway.
Yeah, but I don't know what they hope to achieve unless they're really pushing. They're doing just everything they can to try and get us to snap on them for some reason.
I know. Well, because we're already in the Civil War, and they want to figure out a way of how they can lock us down. Speaking of lockdowns, there's already been discussions of that. Multiple businesses have tried to reinstate the mask mandates, and they've lasted about 2 days, which we applaud, because people are not playing that game anymore.
They're not doing it.
No.
Didn't do it the first time.
And this is how you interact with somebody who falls for it again. You mock them. You laugh at them. You say, you are a sheep. You are a sheep.
Well, that's Hollywood, because they've already gone back to mandating it.
Of course. Well, Lionsgate was one of the ones discussed in this article. And they said, also in California, Lionsgate Film Studio says it will be rescinding a forced masking policy just days after it announced it wanted workers to mask up.
Oh,
Quote,
good.
employees must wear a medical-grade face covering when indoors except when alone in an office with the door closed, actively eating, actively drinking at their desk or workstation, or if they are the only individual present in a large open workspace. Days later, the company reversed course, blaming the government officials. The studio said that it was told by the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health to put a mask mandate in place following a handful of positive COVID tests among staff. Oh, we didn't really want to do it. We were just told to do it. We were just following orders.
And the PRC tests, we know how reliable those are.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Stupid.
But it is, it's coming up on 2024.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get the band back together.
Well, and what was I have that Babylon Bee as well. Picture number 14. Babylon Bee, CDC announces deadly new election Omicron COVID variant. So, yeah, it's, how does it know? How does it know 20? And it's an election year. It's like it's completely made up or something.
It is.
Yes, it is, folks. Don't fall for it.
I'm not even going to discuss it because I refuse to participate.
Exactly. So we should just go to a music break, and that's what we're going to do. And folks, if you are enjoying this show, let us know. Drop a comment down below. Like this video, or if you're listening, like this audio, whatever. I don't know, because some of these platforms are audio only. And if you're listening only, go watch the show. It's much more entertaining. And also join the Locals community. We'll throw up a bottom of the stack for you.
And I'll probably just throw up.
Probably. Hey, who doesn't want to pay to see that? Huh? Come on. $5 a month. Use promo code FreedomCow and get 1 month free. Join the Locals community. If you're on Rumble, it's that little red button that says join. If you're everywhere else that you're watching this, it's the link down in the description. Join the Locals community. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel and then take it over to Rumble, because YouTube probably isn't going to like us for much longer. And we don't like you, YouTube, so you can shove it. So on Rumble, if you're on Rumble,
right there, this episode's going.
Exactly. Subscribe to the Rumble channel and share it with your friends. Word of mouth is what helps the most as well. Get the word out, and it's about getting loud locally. Also, follow the page on Twitter. I repost a bunch of stuff. I X. It's not Twitter anymore. It's X, whatever. X. I don't really care.
I really think that was a bad.
Yeah, I don't like
move.
calling it X.
Yeah, it's weird.
I call it the app formerly known as Twitter. So follow us on that. At Freedom Chron Pod, link in the description. Also follow on Instagram. Ken can't do that because he's not on Instagram anymore. He was erased. I, however, am on Instagram, so you can follow, see some pictures, support the show. We greatly appreciate it. Buy a t-shirt. Helps us out. And since I'm back, the band is back. We're playing. We got some gigs this weekend. Friday in Venice, Saturday in Cape Coral. This hurricane was nothing.
In Venice?
Yeah, it'll be fine. They're already open. They already posted.
Okay.
So go to MikeImbasciani.com, SimplyClapton.com. Check it out. Follow us everywhere, Spotify, all that good stuff. And enjoy this. It's an oldie but a goodie. It's No Good, my band. Check it out.
When you get the vibration, won't do you no good, won't do you no good. And you better start running when you hear the man coming, won't do you no good, won't do you no good. No, we don't mind, if you don't mind, hell, I never mind. Now let the moment break you, let the feeling come take you. Won't do you no good, won't do you no good. You tell I got a fever, so when you hit me right, you know it might as well. Won't do you no good, say it won't do you you no good. Now say, kiss your baby goodbye. Come on, love, it's alright. Heaven knows they wanna bring you apart. Yeah, yeah. Kiss your baby goodbye. Come on, love, it's alright. Heaven knows unless you give it a try. Oh, baby. And get the vibration, won't do you no good, won't do you no good. You tell I got a fever, so when you hit me right, you know it might as well. Won't do you no good, so you won't do you no good. And I said, kiss your baby goodbye. Come on, love, it's alright. Heaven knows they wanna bring you apart. Yeah, yeah. Kiss your baby goodbye. Come on, love, it's alright. Never know unless you give it a try. Oh,
No good from Kaleo. That was at the Twisted Fork. It's always a fun time being over there. So before we hop to our Patriot and Traitor of the Week, as all the news about the Trump mugshot's been coming out and everything happened after the debate, we have some news. The first little, I guess, whatever, I don't know, breaking-ish. Nobody really cares that much because he never really made it anywhere. Anyway.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows who the hell this guy is.
No.
Nobody even knew he was running.
No. Francis Suarez,
little Frankie,
becomes the first Republican to drop out of the primary race. And you might say, who is Francis Suarez? Where he is the Miami mayor, and he announced on Tuesday that he was dropping out of the 2024 race after failing to qualify for the first Republican Party primary debate. Quote, while I have decided to suspend my campaign for president, my commitment to making this a better nation for every American remains. It was a privilege to come so close to appearing on stage with the other candidates at last week's first debate. Nobody cares, people.
See,
Nobody cares.
He didn't write a book.
I know.
You can't run for president if you don't write a book.
Yep.
I mean, come on, figure it out. Figure it out.
Figure it out. Come on. You're supposed to get all that money from
back
those
to
big
Miami.
donors. Come on, man. Come on.
Jeez.
Sad. All right, Ken, who is your Patriot of the Week?
Let's give it up for all the first responders in the Panhandle and the Tallahassee, Panama City area, Big Bend, all up in that area that are going to be busting their butts right now and recovering from Hurricane Idalia. That sounds like a band song.
Sounds like an onion.
No, well, no, that's
Vidalia.
Vidalia. That was a Vidalia sweet. Very sweet onion. But Idalia. Couldn't you? That's like Ophelia.
Yeah.
Change the name to Idalia.
Idalia. Or Caledonia. Idalia. Idalia. What makes your big head so hard? Yes, Idalia. Yes, very good. True patriots, everybody going out dealing with those downed lines and down trees and the lines
guys,
that are in the
all
trees.
the first responders, they got a tough few days, several days ahead of them.
Yes.
God bless him.
And again, thoughts and prayers to everybody who's dealing with it and has no power. It is not a fun situation at all. My Patriot of the Week, Ben, please picture number 27. We have Jaden here.
Oh, yeah.
A true patriot.
Yeah.
And we have the video. Let's play the video. And he won the Colorado School Board votes to allow him to wear the Don't Tread on Me patch. First Amendment anyway, should have been able to do it. But he's also running for class president. But just watch. We don't have to play the whole thing, but just play some of this video and just look at how pathetic this faculty member is at this school.
Oh, thank you. Do they know what the Gadsden flag is? That it's a historical flag?
So they're, the reason that they do not want the flag, the reason we do not want the flag displayed is due to its origins with slavery and slave trade. That is what was, as the reasoning behind why we do not want it displayed.
The Gadsden flag?
The Don't Tread on Me.
Okay. Which is the Gadsden flag?
Okay. All right. That's enough.
So
that makes you want to puke right there. That
She
flag.
has no idea.
She has no idea what it's called. It's the Gadsden flag, the Don't Tread on Me flag from the American Revolution. Just look at her face. And look, I love his face. He's like, I'm going to own so much. I'm going to own this school.
That is the most ignorant broad ever.
And when you told your commie teacher not to tread, but they start treading, so you organize a national movement to defeat them. And this is the teacher's car with all the bumper stickers. And one of the bumper stickers even says, "Make America Green Again." Barf, chic, New World Order nonsense. And we have the story here too. Yesterday, the student returned with the patch still visible on his backpack following the district's direction. Vanguard administrators pulled the student aside so that they could speak with his parents and the district. Upon learning of these events today, the Vanguard School Board of Directors called an emergency meeting. Emergency! From Vanguard's founding, we have proudly supported our Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the ordered liberty that all Americans have enjoyed for almost 250 years. The Vanguard School recognizes the historical significance of the Gadsden flag and its place in history. This incident is an occasion for us to reaffirm our deep commitment to a classical education in support of these American principles. At this time, the Vanguard School Board and the district have informed the student's family that he may attend school with the Gadsden flag patch visible on his backpack. We salute you, sir. And that is why I am wearing my Ted Nugent flag. I will not comply with their 32-37 moment, Ben. Their bullshit. Because that's exactly what it is. And good for this kid for standing up. Good for the parents for standing up. And I love, you see the little either a little brother or little sister's foot just rocking back and forth like, I can't stand this teacher at all. And so good for them. And of course, the kid, Connor Boyack, who was one of the first to have this story, also X'd out that, as you can hear his mom say in the video, Jaden wanted to stand up for his non-racist beliefs. So after he was kicked out of class, he asked his mom to take him to the news station to get the word out. He got the idea from a Tuttle Twins book, which we also applaud. And there's a picture, NBC, of him standing in the building. They declined an interview. So the news station did not want to talk about it at all. What a shock.
Yeah.
But there you have a true patriot. Put up picture number 30 again. You just love, I love his face and just that I love it. So good for that kid. And he's going to be going places, you know it, including the bank when he wins the lawsuit. Ken, who is your traitor of the week?
Where do I begin?
Oh, I know.
Oh, hi.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Gosh. I mean, there's really so many. I'm going to have to go with Governor Kemp of Georgia.
Yeah.
I may have already got him last week. I don't remember.
I don't think you did. No.
Everything's kind of a blur. But this guy is
I was on vacation.
Total piece of garbage.
I know.
Just a complete waste of flesh.
And he's been a decent enough governor of Georgia.
But he refuses to acknowledge the voter fraud in Florida, stands by and is actually probably, I wouldn't even be surprised if behind the scenes he's
applauding the fact.
Yeah. He's aiding and abetting and complicit in the political persecution of Donald Trump. And I have zero respect for Kemp. Whatever happens to him that's painful, he deserves it.
Remember, folks, everything discussed on this podcast is solely our opinion.
Well, I hope he stubs his freaking toe.
Yeah, that
and
can be
it
quite
gets
painful.
Infected.
Yeah.
I hope he gets terminal butt rash.
That's another thing on my vacation. Not the terminal butt rash part, but on my vacation.
You got that too?
No. Luckily.
A little too much driving in the heat on them vinyl
Hey,
seats.
I'll tell you what, that minivan had vented seats. That is the nicest thing ever.
I'll bet.
I want a
Out
car
there?
with that now. It is very nice. Like, ooh, this is cool. And,
get your buachis all nice and dialed in.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, driving across the country and back, not one Joe Biden sign, sticker, flag, anything.
But he still got 48% approval.
Oh, yeah. 81 million votes, folks. 81 million votes.
Almost 15 million more than Obama.
From the nice areas of the mountains of Georgia to the derelict areas of Gallup, New Mexico, and whatever the last town in Arizona is. I don't even remember because it was I wanted it out of my mind as I was heading towards the Hoover Dam in Las Vegas. Trump sign after Trump sign after Let's Go Brandon sign after Trump sign. We love it. And the people love Trump. And there's no reason why Kemp, just like as we applauded DeSantis a couple weeks ago for firing those other DAs, we give credit where credit is due. There's no reason why Kemp should not be getting rid of this corrupt DA.
No, well, yeah, there is. It's called donors.
Well, yeah.
It's called the establishment.
Yeah.
And Georgia, Sea Island, that's where they all meet. So, yeah. There's all kinds of reasons why Kemp is doing what he's doing. Yeah, none of them are good for we the people.
Yeah.
These are just to do what his masters tell him to do.
Of course.
They're all globalists. They're all World Economic Forum loving. They aren't America first. They're not MAGA at all.
Yeah.
All they'll do is slow and manage the decline.
Right. Yeah. And that's the whole thing. That's all they want.
Capitulate to the left all the time at every turn, just like they always do.
Yeah.
That's what they want to go back to, folks. If you can't see it, they want to get back to that status quo where they can go golfing and bend over and take it from the Democrats, and they can pretend. And that's why this has got me wondering. Think about this. What if there's a pact between the establishment and the left? Okay, you help us get rid of Trump, and we'll let DeSantis or Youngkin, we'll let him win to give the illusion that the system.
Oh, of course, yeah, because they want to get rid of Biden anyway.
Yeah, but then they'll just capitulate to whatever
And there's no reason why they're then just going to put up Gavin, just as they want to have this debate in November anyway. That Gavin is allegedly already backing out of.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, between DeSantis and Newsom, because that's the matchup they want. It's the Democrat establishment pick and the Republican establishment pick. They don't actually care what the people want. So, I don't know.
Yeah, no.
We'll see what happens.
Agree. It's all the illusion of choice.
Yeah.
And it's Trump or die with me. Sorry.
Yes. And I will not comply, folks.
Yeah, I
That's
will
the
not
whole point.
comply.
Yeah. So get loud locally and make sure you vote because it matters. So my trader would literally, as we're doing this show, recording at 2:30 on Wednesday, August 30th, we have the breaking news that Mitch McConnell has once again frozen. So Mitch is my trader of the week because, dude, just leave. Roll the clip.
What are my thoughts about what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
That's
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026?
I'm
All right, I'm sorry, you are going to need a minute.
62. What's this? Where are we? What? Huh?
Who are you?
Hey, bud. Hey, quit messing with my date.
Okay.
What?
Somebody
I'm
else have a
still
question,
standing
please
here.
speak up.
I'm still
Speak up.
standing.
I hear him.
I'm still standing.
I mean, come on, folks.
That's McConnell's impression of Feinstein. They're both the same, and that's both their impressions of Joe.
Hey,
I mean, my God, what do we got going on
what
here?
is wrong with you people?
Jesus,
just leave. Do you want to destroy the country that bad?
Apparently they do.
Oh
they're
my
just
God.
so arrogant.
Yeah.
Or they're just so gotta cling to
He
power.
He answered the question. You said,
Yes. Sounds like Sid from Sid's Factory Warehouse.
oh yeah. Hey guys, help me. Yeah. So that's a traitor right there, because that's someone who does not care about the country, because he wants to just latch on. He's falling off the cliff, latching onto that branch that just keeps breaking off. And he's just holding on for literal
Chairman
dear
Z.
life.
I'll do your bidding. I can still do it, Chairman Z. You'll see.
Pathetic.
Traitor.
And that's a Republican, folks. We don't care. Republican, Democrat, any of these morons that are so old they cannot function. Can you tell I've been on vacation? I'm back. I'm having so much fun. I'm just venting all this stuff out that I've had, with bad internet connections and all that.
Over the top.
It's fine. I don't really care. I don't care, because I'm sick of the nonsense. So, folks, let's continue here. We have some other things. Ken, do you have something you'd like to share?
Oh yeah,
with the group?
Elon Musk.
Elon
is being sued.
Yes.
By the Department of Justice for hiring too many Americans and not seriously.
I know. I heard about this.
And not hiring asylees.
Right.
That's what they're calling those. They have a name now. Asylees. And refugees. Yeah. And he's not hiring them.
No.
And he's got a lot of government contracts, and a majority of government contracts is stipulated, the citizenship of the people working on these contracts, or they got to be green card members. Yeah. These guys are neither.
Right.
And they're not all vetted. There's probably, we've already got.
But Elon should be required to hire them anyway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right. That's what they're saying.
Have to.
Yeah.
It's a national security issue, but screw that.
Asylees, refugees, you go give a job.
Yes.
It took your jibs. You've taken her jibs.
Time for that South Park episode to come back. Yeah.
But
speaking of which, X is still not a free speech area. Picture number 9. We have
what do you want?
The other cartoon.
He hires Yakarino
I know.
as a CEO.
Lawful but awful. James Woods and Cat Turd, not allowed. It's still the same old free speech.
So go to Gab.
Yeah.
Well, so what? What do you want?
I want Tucker. I want Tucker on a normal platform.
Yeah. And that's the only reason I'm on there.
Me too. Yeah. Speaking of which, we had this Tucker Carlson's video, his interview with Trump, 250 million views. GOP debate on Fox News, 12.8 million. Pathetic. It's called a victory for Tucker and Trump, because that's what people actually want.
Well, but how many views were there on Rumble, though? Because the debate
Rumble
was
for Tucker. The debate.
The debate was on Rumble too. So, and it was live. I couldn't find it to see. Shows how many views there were, but I haven't been able to see that on Rumble. I'd like to.
I haven't seen.
Know what those numbers were.
Yes, that is true.
Because I would hope they're up. I would like to see Rumble do well.
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm. But
our show's been doing well, and thank you, folks. That's why we asked you to share the show. It's greatly important. So, speaking of asylum seekers, or asylees, rather,
asylees, refugees.
Yeah. Picture number 17, please. Have you heard about the mostly white Asian? Not a joke, folks. The mostly white Asian UNC graduate student charged after shooting the associate professor.
Mostly white.
Tylee Key here. And where did he study? Wuhan.
Well, yeah, but where did the guy he killed study?
Where?
Wuhan.
Yeah, of course. What a shock. But just the we're back to the George Zimmerman, white Hispanic moment.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
Fox coming out,
Well, it's the
shooter
only
described as mostly white Asian male.
It's the only thing they've got before they bury the story completely.
Right.
Because he was an Asian.
Yes.
Mostly white. Yeah, the white Hispanic. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, and just as a caveat to that previous tweet about Tucker and Trump.
Yes.
It's 263 million.
Oh!
250.
That's true. It was an old tweet already.
All right.
So it just keeps growing.
It
growing.
does.
And as of course, the government now doesn't like Tucker because he is speaking the truth. I highly recommend, and I re-X'd it on the Freedom Chronicles X page that you should go follow right now as you're watching this. The Tucker interview with the Hungarian Prime Minister Orban there.
Viktor Orban.
It's
a great interview.
Fantastic interview. And folks, zoom out. As Americans, we're too much on what is happening in our little tiny area. You have to zoom out sometimes and actually pay attention what's happening on the country scale, countrywide, and on the world scale, and what a country like Hungary has to deal with when you say war with Russia and Ukraine.
Yeah, look at Hungary and where it's positioned on a map in reference to Russia and Ukraine, and then look at it's part of the EU, it's part of NATO, but it doesn't want to follow a lot of the particularly with immigration. It's blocked off. It's not taking all the
good
immigrants,
all the asylees.
It's a very nationalistic, kind of like how Trump wants to make America great again. Viktor Orban's making Hungary great again. And the people love him, and the people overwhelmingly vote for him. But he's not following the West and the EU's and NATO's bidding. So what happens? You got that skank, that complete waste of flesh, Samantha Power, following Vicki Nuland's orders, and she's going over there trying to start a color revolution right now in Hungary.
Yeah.
But
because
Orban
as
is
Tucker
the Trump.
said,
he's the Trump of Europe.
Yeah, and as Tucker said, there's nothing like democracy where a foreign superpower, the United States, goes over and try to influence somebody else's election. That's true democracy, isn't it?
But look at what they've been saying. They've been saying, we all know we're the ones who started the war in Ukraine by telling Ukraine, by breaking our promise to Russia and telling Ukraine that they could be part of NATO and could be part of the EU. Right. That's always been the issue. That was the promise that was made by the United States to Russia at the end of the Cold War. But look, they're all saying, oh, Putin wants to rebuild the Soviet Union. What the hell is the EU right now?
Yeah.
What the hell is the EU acting like other than the authoritarian, tyrannical Soviet Union when Hungary doesn't want to play this game?
No.
And so what do? The tyrannical West and the authoritarian EU all try to put the clamps down on Hungary to get to bitch slap it into following its agenda. And Orban doesn't want to do it. And I stand with Hungarians and I stand with Viktor Orban.
Yes, as do I. And so what happens? We find out that back in 2021, the NSA spied on Tucker Carlson while he was trying to set up an interview with Vladimir Putin. Why are you talking to the Russians? And a video came out, Tucker talking about it, saying he was in talks using the, Signal app, I believe, to have these conversations. And he said somebody reached out to him, wanted to meet with him in DC, and he said, are you in talks to talk to Vladimir Putin? And Tucker said, how do you know that? I haven't even told my wife that. And so, Republicans, Democrats are all in on it. He said the senator who admitted that the spying was happening on him said the NSA spying on his messages happened for a good reason. And Tucker, there's no good reason. That's spying on Americans.
And what was the good reason?
Right.
Because Americans aren't allowed to hear what Putin's point of view is?
Yeah.
Why? What's America so? What's the fascist Biden regime so scared of?
Exactly.
That Putin's gonna say. That's why that again, the censorship, everything. The U.S. and the EU have become the Soviet Union.
Yes.
They've become that style of authoritarian douchebag.
Well, you heard what the last question that Tucker asked Orban, and again, folks, go watch the full interview. It's fantastic. And
only
then
a half hour.
And then Tucker's half-hour speech, or like 25-minute speech to the Hungarian people.
That was good too.
And then the back and forth conversation they had. Well, each was about 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, did you ever think about putting your competition in prison? And Orban said, that's what the communists do. That's what they did, and that's what they continue to do. And they are communists that are trying to...
what are they doing to Trump?
Exactly.
And what is the Republican Party doing to prevent it?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, if the Republican Party won't stand up for the civil rights for the constitutional rights of an ex-president, do you think they're going to stand up for your or my rights?
No.
To hell with the Republican Party. May the GOP and the RNC go the way of the Whigs. May a new party arise from the ashes of these rat bastards that are actually conservative, constitutional-loving representatives, because we're not getting a representative government.
No. Show the picture again. Picture number 20, please, Ben. Look at this face, folks. Understand this face. Right there. Donald J. Trump, indicted in Fulton County, mugshot. The mugshot heard round the world. It's important because these are trying times, and we're already in the Civil War. So it's about coming out and being that vote that counts.
Let's rub this picture in their face.
Yes. Hey, Freedom Chronicles merch with it coming soon. Check it out. So from the bunker, everybody, good night.
Capitalist.
You're watching Conservative Television of America, working hard to stick socialism where the sun don't shine.